Thank you everyone for turning up today and choosing my talk over all the other good ones that are on at the same time. Today we're going to be talking about data Go-Kart to data Grand Prix, learn and level up. So I've got a bit of a Formula One theme this year. If anyone saw the last one, it was a Star Wars theme, so I don't know what we'll do next year. But yeah, so great to see some familiar faces in the audience as well, so thank you for coming. All right, let's go. Okay, season versus race. It's not about winning the one race, it's about winning the season in data and in Formula One. If you just focus on the initial race or the initial goals, you may miss out on the main objective, which is winning the season or achieving your business objectives as an organisation. Yeah, transformation is a sprint. We all like agile. We all think that, a few sprints, everything gets done. And yeah, that doesn't always work. You need to be consistent with your sprints. You need to continue with your transformation. Winners adapt. Standing still is not an option these days. You need to learn and build momentum while you're on that journey. And this relates to all aspects of a transformation. You're going to learn from your mistakes, you're going to learn from your successes, and you're going to learn from other people on that journey with you as well. So, winners adapt to your environment, adapt to the surroundings, adapt to the challenge you've got. Starting from Go-Kart to Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton, he started with Go-Karts, he made his way up. He didn't do that in just one race. He did that in multiple seasons and multiple teams to actually get to that main objective. So everyone always thinks about it's the tools, it's that part of transformation. You'll see in a minute, you can have the best car in the world, but without the best driver and without the best teams to support you, you're not going to win. So it's about combining all of those aspects to get the best team, best support, best pit crew to achieve your end goal. So we're talking when with transformations and AI is not just a one-off project. This is continually iterating, continuing to improve, continuing to get the best out of your team, your platform, and achieve your business objectives. So yeah, learning every lap. So if you break down a lap into all the aspects that you can actually gain information, gain knowledge from, so each corner provides you some information. So this could be on your transformation, it could be each stakeholder that you need to actually work with to find out how to take that next corner, how to be able to adjust to the requirements as they happen. Each lap, you're able to got a milestone. I think I talked earlier about if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. So running a lap, you're able to have some stats to be able to improve each journey, each corner, what you've been able to do. You've got a benchmark to prove against. Next time, you know if you've improved it. If you haven't improved it, then you haven't learnt from your lessons. Strategy evolves, especially a team sport. I think I'll touch later on about it's very hard to keep everyone happy all the time, but it's keeping the right people happy at the right time. So your strategy evolves. You may have to pivot at some point. You may have to come in for a different set of tyres. You may have to come in for a different technology to add on to that. You may even change your pit crew, or the tools that they're using. There's always something to change. The conditions are adapting to change. So, in Formula One, what tyres you use when you do your pit stop, where you start on that podium, or where you start on the what position you start the race in. You've got to be able to work out what to do at that point. If you start in the front, you need to make sure people aren't behind you. If you're starting at the back, you've got to be able to overtake them. So, learning to adapt in every single environment, different technologies can provide different benefits, and it's which order you add these things. You can't go straight to just putting your best engine in unless you haven't got all the supporting capabilities to support that best engine. Each crash, who's ever had a project that's not worked well and gone to plan? I think if anyone doesn't put their hand up or in the mind doesn't agree with it, someone's lying. There's never a perfect race, there's never a perfect season, and there's never a perfect project. But what you can learn from each of those experiences, each of those failures, can make sure that next year you're not making the same mistakes and you've benefited from those failures. So everyone talks about shifting left. Everyone's trying to shifting right. So shifting left, the term people use in the business, is trying to put your data quality further closer to where the business captures that data. Shifting right, making sure you've got the right capabilities for your teams to interact with that data. But you're not standing still. And maybe not many people drive stick shifts now, or normal, American term, normal manual gearboxes. It's been taken away from us with an automatic box. But anyone that did use to drive you had to have the right gear for the right corner, for the right position, to change at the right time. Even changing gears, maybe not the normal way. You go from fourth to second if you need to. So being able to react quick to the environment you're in, and in the same way as your data project, you may have a data quality issue. You shift left to go and address that. But then after that, you may have an access issue, or people getting the right access to the right data, the right context that data. You need to shift right for that. You may have some infrastructure issues at a certain point where your compute's costing too much. You have to shift down for that. You have to go and define your business processes. You have to shift up for that. But it's the speed in which you can shift, it's the speed in which you can make decisions, and knowing what gear to be in at what time to achieve the goal of getting out of that bend, getting out of that corner, doing the overtake, whatever it is. So it's not just as simple as, well, it is an automatic, shift up, shift down, that's it. But you've got to be able to react to the situations and be agile enough to make the right decision at the right time. Right gears equal right outcome. Sometimes it's acceleration, sometimes it's stabilization. So it's, and in the same way as your organization, there's no point racing too far ahead if you haven't got your infrastructure, you haven't got your data ops in place, you haven't got your data quality in place, you haven't got your data cataloging in place. You can't do them all at once. It's working out what you do in the right order to achieve initially winning the race, and then later on winning the season. Success is shifting at the right time. Pick crew and people. I think I made this statement once before. You can build the fastest pipeline in the world that no one ever used the data. That's not a success. It may be a technical success. You think, I've got this sub-second latency for this data that no one actually needs, or it's modeled in a way that isn't actually useful for what the business wants. So it's not just about having everything the fastest, it's having it the right speed for the right components at the right time to make the objectives. Formula One pit crew versus a Go-Kart pit crew. Very different team, a very different level of experience, and you're not going to get a Go-Kart team to go and work on your Formula One car. And the other way around, you're not going to let a Go-Kart team work on your Formula One car. So it's working out who you hire to achieve what you need for your objectives. So if you go out and get the top people just come from Meta and they just come from Google, and you go and give them a Postgres database to go and work on that isn't documented and is modeled really badly, they're not going to stick around. That's not what they're used to, and it's not what they'll enjoy doing. So it's combining the right people at the right horses for courses. It's finding the right people at the right time to address the technical challenges you actually have. And the other way around. So there's no point building the fastest data pipeline in the world if you haven't actually got what the business requirements are and actually know what the business need to achieve to achieve their objectives. I use the term business value a lot, and it's probably an overused word or overused phrase. And how I describe it is business value is an evidenceable positive effect on your company objectives. So it's not always about changing the bottom line. It may not be just about saving costs. It's about winning the season. And give Uber as an example. Uber was 11, 12 years till it made a profit. they were focused on the end game, which was winning the season. They didn't matter about being profitable each particular year. Whereas an organisation which doesn't have the VC backing that Uber have and need to actually produce results quicker than 11 years. You need to look at what's the right thing for me to achieve the next race. I may not win this race, but if I learn enough from this race, next race I'm prepared that I can actually move up a position, measurable. I've gone from 5th to 3rd or 3rd for 1st. You're moving in the right direction. So yes, you need to invest in both your car and your crew, but you need to do it combined. Don't just put all your money in the crew or put all your money on the car. It's working out what you spend at what time and leveling up. If I'm playing those car games where you change your engine every now and then you change your tyres and you go back and have to change your gearbox. It's the same thing with your data platform. If you're able to identify what the maturity is of each of your parts of your platform, you can work out which is the next area for you to look to improve, to level up. And sometimes it may not be the fun part of the project. They go, I want to go and work on the AI stuff. No, before you do that, let's go and understand if it's data modeled correctly. Let's go and understand whether you've got the correct terminology, the context is provided for that data. Context is king. Without context, the data is just, it doesn't have as much use, put it that way. Doing it in the right order, in the right time to get both the balance of the right platform with the right team to achieve your company's objectives. Yeah, so this is this is one I've used a few times. Stakeholder alignment. So I don't know if everyone's Star Trek, the Kobayashi test, basically the unwinnable challenge, and you're going to have them every single part of your project. You're going to have an unwinnable situation because you can't keep you can't keep every stakeholder happy all the time. You can't keep your CFO happy as well as your product team happy as well as your customers happy. It's making sure you keep the right people happy at the right time, and to put the investment in to make sure you can keep the right people happy at the next time that they need to be. So it's, it sometimes is an unwinnable solution. You need to work out the path of least resistance to achieve what you want from your organisation. It's the same with data. That team want the people want it in the right time. They want to get the right return on investment from it. They want to make sure they're compliant. You probably won't be able to get all three of them all at the same time, but it's making sure that you do things in the right time to get that right return on investment over time. But the business want the speed. The clients want access to it. The leadership wants return on investment. So you're not always to get them back with to go and get your associated funding. Any regulatory pressure of hitting that, and meeting your business objectives. So I touched on maturity earlier, and I don't know if you ever work what we do at LEIT. We have a platform blueprint, which is domains of a platform, and we help our customers identify where they are on that journey, how mature they are on that, where's the next place they need to invest, what's the right time to invest in, not the technology, but also the team as well, and making sure your team are skilled up to work on any new technology. Because if you go and don't bother investing in the training of your team and just expect them to be able to be effective straight away, you're not setting up for success. So start fast, quick wins, ingestion automation. And I think the other thing is to think about is if you wait till you think you're ready for your first release before you put it out into the domain, you've already waited too long. You will personally probably never be happy with the product you're shipping because you always know I want to add this next thing. I always want to improve this other bit. Let me add this extra bit of logging, which is great. But the problem is, unless you get that out there into the audience, into the the team that's going to be using it, you're not going to get the feedback to work out what you need to change, how you need to do it, and if it actually fits the market requirements. So you could, if you fail fast, fix faster, win the race. Which is it. Slides here. Winning the season. It's about sustainable value delivery. And I said this earlier as well. Was on the other talk I did was if you go and save your company £1 million by £100,000 investment, you go to your CFO and say, I want some more budget for the next piece of work. I'm sure you won't need to do 25 slides now and go and meet loads of other people to go and get a decision. The decision we made based on historical performance that you've done. I've achieved this, the trust has been built, the funding will come a lot easier, just don't mess it up the second time, otherwise the third time will be harder. So, be able to build confidence in releasing value iteratively over time. Okay, the podium moment. Everyone loves to win. Everyone loves to get the successes of all the hard work that we've been performing. But every company starts as a go-kart. Even the largest ones, or even maybe some of the largest ones have actually got like an old Ford Cortina, if anyone remembers something like that. So they've started with something pretty old, and you had to migrate it to something new. You all start with something you've been given within your organisation, and it might have been good enough for then. It's what's good enough for the future, and it's working out how you maybe not go straight from use the expression, right, a Ford Fiesta or something, and going straight to a Lotus or something like that. You need to work out, okay, what is the journey for me to level up? It might be just sticking a new engine in your Ford Fiesta first of all, and then just sweating that infrastructure or sweating that for a bit longer. Success. It's the right car, the right crew, and the right shifts. So I think it's people, platform, people, processes. It's the 3 Ps. If you can focus on the platform and not on the people, you won't work. You have the platform and the processes without the right people, you're going to fail. So you need to look at all of them and level them up in the right order, and step back. Look at what worked well. Look at what didn't work well. Use any evidence you've captured from that journey, the failures, the crashes, the successes, the overtakes, the right gear shifts, whatever those things that worked well, use them, feed that back in to optimize how you do things in the future. Winning is not just about the one race. It is about getting that sustained, repeatable performance. And we talked about evidencing success. Each time you win, each time you're going to get it's going to get easier to go and get the next iteration, to go and address the next maturity issue you want to address. We're all technologists here. We all like to work on the fun stuff, and unfortunately, the fun stuff isn't always the stuff that needs to be done. So, by having a little bit of self-discipline, then okay, right, I know I'll get to work on the fun stuff, and I'm going to get the budget for it if I deliver the things that are going to get me to a position where I have the foundation in place to be successful with some of these other objectives as they come through. I might have gone through my slides quicker than I thought, but let's have a look. I have. I have gone to Q&A now. So yes, I've gone through quicker than expected. So I can take some questions. I can probably hear you from here anyway. Anyone, any questions? Go on then. Thank you.
Yeah, so I was saying there's a lot of change in the technology space, but businesses change to adapt to a harsher environment. Yes. So teams get restructured, stakeholders change, requirements then change. How do you manage that?
Great question, Jerome. And the talk earlier, I was talking about digital twins, and I think something that can address that challenge of the unknowns, the what-if scenarios, what you're able to do, be able to react quicker. So I think the concept of digital twins, if you think of that in the races, having multiple cars being able to run on the same track in virtually at the same time, and be able to see what worked well and what didn't work well. So I think that's something is trying to address that the uncertainty that we have in the world at the moment of what the tariffs are going to affect on your company's performance, supply chain issues that may be happening, other world events that are happening as well that have an effect on how we run an organisation. So having that concept of a digital twin, and I think Snowflake is who we partner with, and we're quite focused on it. Snowflake can provide you the ability to create scenarios where you can create a scenario, create a scenario of a different business objective, a bit different business outcome that you want, and then run that through to see how that can affect your ability to deliver what you need to deliver. So agility is the key thing nowadays. It's business agility, technology agility, and business process agility as well. Thank you, Jerome. I got time for more questions.
Hello, thank you very much for the talk. I really enjoyed it. So I think the point of a race is to perform better than your competitors, right? So are you ever bothered to check in with what your competitors are doing in order to, get ahead of them?
I think always keeping an eye on your competitors is vital, and I'm pretty sure that the Formula One teams are doing that all the time, and looking at each other's pit crews and seeing how they're doing things. Yeah, I mean, learn from your peers. Learning from other companies and what they're doing is going to set you up for success. So, you're not only looking in your rear mirror and looking ahead of you, you're also looking to the side of you, what other people are doing as well. Yeah, thank you. Any more questions? No? Okay. Well, all right, well, anyone come? No, some housekeeping, I suppose. Tonight at 6 p.m. we've got the high performance data and AI debate. So we've got three panels, one focused on teams, one focused on technology, and one focused on AI products. There'll be beers and pizzas and banter at that one, so come along and join that. And if you want to come to our booth, we have the Doctors of Data, our data clinic, who are taking appointments to discuss any challenges you may have and suggest any remediation and prescriptions for ailments, your data ailments that you have. Okay. Any more questions? I think we still have a few minutes. No? Should I pick on someone? Chris, you got a question? Come on, Chris. No? All right. I think that's a wrap. I can pick you, Mark. You got a question, Mark? No, he's a Mark behind you, but he's shy. He doesn't want to. All right. Okay. I think that's it. Thank you, everyone.